Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Everybody. Hare Krishna, everyone. Would like to welcome you all to our this Saturday evening Bhagavad Gita class. So today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 6 and verse number.
Sorry, say it again, please. Parambrahma, right?
Yeah, my name is Param Brahmadas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, repeat it.
I think it's 43, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 43.
Which chapter?
643.
Okay.
Chapter number 6, verse number 43.
Thank you.
Have you got a book or not? I think Prabhu, you can have them the book. You can share. If it's not, if you have any spare one, you can also have with them.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah. Shisha Prabhu, do you mind just keeping it straight because it's just hitting my head? Yeah. Yeah. I think one is on, yeah? That one is okay, that's fine. I think should be fine. Yeah, we are anyway turning into core now. Okay. So are you okay with that? Have you got the shloka number? It's verse number 43. Okay. I don't know whether if you can read after me, it would be nice, but just focus on the words. Tatra tam buddhi samyogam. Say it after me. Labte purva dehikam yatte cha tato bhuyaha samsiddhau kuru nandana. Okay, let's say it again. Tatra tam buddhi samyogam labte purva dehikam yatte cha tato bhuyaha samsiddhau kuru nandana. Okay, we will go for word to word meaning and I will say, then you say after me. Tatra, thereupon. Tam, that. Buddhi samyogam, revival of consciousness. Labte, gains. Purva dehikam, the previous body. Yatte, he endeavors. Cha, also. Tataha, thereafter. Bhuyaha, again. Samsiddhau, for perfection. Kuru Nandana, O son of Kuru. So translation and purport, it will be read by me only and you can just hear it attentively. Translation. So whatever the shloka we read, it's been written in Sanskrit language and it's been spoken by Lord Krishna. So our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he has given a word-to-word meaning in English, which just we read, and now he's going to tell what is the translation of the shloka, and then again he's going to elaborate in the form of a purport. Translation. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. Purport. King Bharata, who took his third birth in the family of a good Brahmana, is an example of good birth for the revival of previous transcendental consciousness. King Bharata was the emperor of the world, and since his time, this planet has been known among the demigods as Bharatvarsha. Formerly, it was known as Ilavrtavarsha. The emperor at an early age retired for spiritual perfection but failed to achieve success. In his next life, he took birth in the family of a good Brahmana and was known as Jada Bharat. Because he always remained secluded and did not talk to anyone. And later on, he was discovered as the greatest transcendentalist by King Rahugana. From his life, it is understood that transcendental endeavors or the practice of yoga never go in vain. I say it again, the practice of yoga never go in vain. By the grace of the Lord, the transcendentalist gets repeated opportunities for complete perfection in Krishna consciousness. So those who are new here and they have come up for the first time or they are reading through this Bhagavad Gita. So here is a conversation of very two intimate friends, Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna was his best friend, he was his cousin, and he was his devotee also. So because we are just about to finish this chapter, so what is happening here? Arjuna previously asked many questions and Krishna is answering them. You can say it is a book of dialogues, question answers, because the whole life is full of question answers. If you see your school, your college, anything, it is full of question answers. Teacher explains, students hear, and if whatever they don't understand, they back ask questions again to the teacher. Okay, sir or madam, did you explain me this? I didn't understand. Do you mind? Do you have any example? So there's a back and forth conversation. So when Lord Krishna explained something about the yoga, about the practice of spirituality, then there is a question came into Arjuna's mind. And what was the question? He says, my dear Lord, in the form of human being, okay, not everybody finish off their spiritual practice. Some people, due to unforeseen activity or some unforeseen accident, they may leave their body early. Have you ever seen in our life, not many people touch 80, 90 or 100. Some people, they just pass out in age of 10, 20, 30, 40, anytime they can pass out. So Arjuna says, my dear Lord, what is the position of those people? He put, so those whose practice, those whose spiritual life is not finished in this life. So what would happen to them? Then Krishna answers. He says, when people, those who have practiced for short period of time, they just join maybe a day, maybe an hour, a week, a month, or 2 months, or a year, or 2 years, very short period of time. Either they leave the practice, or either they leave the world. So Lord says there is nothing harm. Even though a person has practiced a genuine spiritual yoga, a spiritual consciousness, then his asset remains forever. He doesn't lose anything. That credits forward to the next lifetime. And he takes birth either in the heavenly planets, and when he enjoys those heavenly kingdom with other demigods, then he comes back again. When he comes back on the earthly planet, he takes birth in two places. Either in a very highly scholared family, like you say Brahmana, the teachers, those who are really into scriptures, or he takes a birth in a very wealthy family. I'm pretty much sure everybody wants to be, get born in a wealthy family, or a family where such as we have a good parentage where we can learn the Vedic scriptures. So those people have taken birth, they are very rare, and they are very fortunate. See, like Rockefeller, and many other, you can say, Alfred Ford, those who are taking birth, they have been, yogi for many years. They lived, they practiced, they went back to heavenly planet, they enjoyed there, and they enjoy in this life. He says that is the situation, the person who has practiced for short period of time. And then further he adds on, Lord Krishna, he says, but the person who has practiced for long period of time, maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 45 years, for some reason, maybe they lost their human form. They did not complete. So those people take the birth in a devotee family. Their parents, their grandparents, great-grandparents, they all are already worshipping the Lord. They are engaged like generation after generation. Those birth is very, very rare, very, very fortunate. Because if you see, like in our Hare Krishna movement, those parents, those who have been practicing since their birth, or maybe not their birth, in their early age, and when they get married and they give birth to any children, whether he or she, so since their birth, even though they are in the womb, they are getting the advantage of the spiritual life. How? Because the mother is chanting. Because the child is connected with the cord inside the womb, he's in the stomach, and whatever the mother eats or whatever the mother hears, anything spiritual, that's directly going to the child, and he's taking the advantage. Whatever food, sanctified food which is offered to the Lord, it becomes prasadam, it becomes the blessings of the Lord. She takes, that already goes to the child. Whatever she hears goes to the child. Whatever activity she does, child also takes the advantage. And when he comes out, the mother or the father takes them to the temple, to the church, to the mosque, and many other holy places. And they go on every day. So that's how they take the advantage. And that birth is very, very rare. Okay? And so here he's saying, on taking such a birth, because this is a conversation is carrying on. I gave you the previous thread to understand how this today's verse or the shloka is carrying on. I think they can come in. Yeah? Okay, no problem. They're just looking through the door. Okay, so he's saying, on taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life. So that means that child, whether he or she, because definitely they need to go through with normal daily life like other people they do, but their activities are not the same. They go to school, they learn ABCD, they go hold the pencil, they get chastised by the teacher, by the mother, finish their food, finish their homework. Those things are there, but there are other activities such as playing the game, video game, watching movies, going here and there and doing all those nonsense activities. They don't do it because they are still connected to their spiritual consciousness or spiritual consciousness of their previous life, what they used to practice. So Krishna helps them. So he's saying, because the body is temporarily, but the soul is not temporarily. The soul is always eternal. So it moves on with their previous activity, especially the spiritual activity. So when the child, wherever he left his body, wherever he left his practice, from that he starts. In Bhagavad Gita 2.40, there's a very beautiful verse. It says, Neha abrikunasho asti pratyavyo na vidyate solpam apya dharmatya trayate mahato bhaya. That means, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, whoever practice this yoga, Krishna consciousness, spiritual practice, chanting Hare Krishna, reading activities, whoever does this, even for a single amount, there is no loss, there is no diminution. He's always in benefit. I'm pretty much sure we all are familiar with our computer stuff. Have you ever transferred any file from A to B? We all have done, yeah? So there's a downloading happens, okay? When that downloading is 100%, then you are transferred. Then your whole data is transferred. So in a similar way, when your bhakti part is completely full 100%, then you are transferred from material world to spiritual world. But until you need to be in the material world, until you finish your 100% file. So the beauty is, if you have finished 20% of your service to the Lord, then you will given another chance of being as a human. Then you finish another 30, it becomes 50. Then you have given another 30, you have 80, then another 20, 100. Then you are ready to go back to Godhead, that you never take birth in this material world. Okay, that is the beauty. So that's what the Lord is saying here. And Srila Prabhupada, he is quoting a very beautiful story from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and the story comes from Canto 5. There was one king. This king name was Bharata. Okay, and this king was very, very pious. He was a family person. He made his life as a good son, as a good husband, as a good father, as a good ruler, as a good king. He did whatever he did, but on time. Okay, everything in this world, there is an age to do. Have you ever noticed? Whatever you do in this material world or anything, if you do anything on time, then you are successful, and then you are free of anxiety. Can anybody give me any example of this, if you understand? Many example, it could be quoted many example. If you do anything on time, any activity.
Arriving to work on time.
Arriving to work on time, on punctual, then you get appreciation, then you get appraisals, and then you've been, at the end of maybe year or many other, you get promotions. There are many benefits to it. Yeah. Anything else?
If you study good, then you can make a good result.
If you study on time, like if people, then they go to work, like they go to school at the young age, and they everything they finish on time, all the exams, all the question papers, whatever they do, and they get their degree on time at the age of 20, 22, and they start work, and their life is settled. They know what have to do, because those people who are confused which career to choose, every year they are dropping. They study for 6 months, 8 months, drop out. Study for 6 months, 8 months, drop out. Study for 6 months, 8 months, drop out. They're dropping every single what do you call, profession. One time they choose, oh yeah, I want to be a teacher, okay, and they take a class, they go, and they after 8 months, no, I don't think so, it's gonna work for me. Then they change, and they go, oh, I want to be a horticulture man, a farmer, okay, then try farmer. After a few months, they drop that one out. I have seen some of my friends in Melbourne, I know them very well, they have dropped 4 or 5 times, and 4 or 5 years just gone in vain. Just they can't even figure it out which profession is best for them. So in a similar way, if we do any certain, like marriage, okay, if the marriage is being done on a proper time, then the children are also out on a proper time, then you can play with them, nourish them, spend time on them. When they're elder, you get them married, and then you can focus on your spiritual life at the age of 50, 51. If the person is getting married at the age of 35 and 40 and 45, and children will have later on, so where is the question that you can take the retirement, or you can practice your spiritual life? Anything you added. But King Maharaj, he did everything perfectly. When there was a time to study, he studied. When there was a time to get married, he married. When there was a time to rule the kingdom, he did. When there was a time to leave the kingdom for spiritual benefit, he did. Right on the right age.
Don't you think everyone's timeline is a little different?
It's not everyone's, it's understanding, Prabhu.
Right? Like for someone to get married.
Can I take the questions after that? After the class? Yeah. So he did it everything on time. But what has happened, he left everything, then he went to the forest, and he was rightly on a very high platform of spiritual life. He showed all the symptoms of being as a great devotee. But unfortunately, due to his lack of something, somewhere, he got attracted to a doe, a deer baby. And he started taking care of the deer baby at the end of his life. And wherever he goes, like in a pet, like we keep dogs and cats at home, So he just kept a baby. He was in the forest. He shouldn't have to do it. But out of affection, he saw one day he was drinking a water nearby the river. He saw there was a she deer. She was pregnant, and she was chased by a lion. And when she came to the river, out of fear, she was just trying to save her life, but she dropped out the baby. And baby just came out of the womb. And Brahma saw, oh, there is no one there to protect the baby. Let me become the guardian. And he became the guardian. Okay, no problem. At certain point, we need to help. He did help. But he became so attached that year after year, month after month, he started thinking about the deer. What happened to my pet deer? Has he eaten? Has he slept? Is there anybody who's going to hurt him? So many kind. He shifted his spiritual consciousness to this deer consciousness. Even though when he's trying to meditate upon the Lord, he's always thinking, oh, maybe I can't see my deer. Maybe a lion has eaten. And he starts calling himself as a rascal. Oh, this deer has so much faith on me, but I cheated. I betrayed the relationship. What sort of human I am? I should be beaten, I should be thrown, and so many other things. He was cursing himself. And when the life came, when the time came to leave his body, instead of thinking about the Lord, what he was already doing, for the purpose he left the world, for the purpose he left the family, for the purpose he left the whole, everybody, whole wealth, everything. But now at the end of the life, he got stuck into the love of a baby deer. So what happened? It says that at the end of a life, if you think about certain things and your consciousness is stuck, then you attain that consciousness or that body in your next life. So King Bharata, he was attached to this baby deer and he was constantly thinking about this baby deer. When he was leaving the body, in his mind, he was thinking about the baby. And the next birth came as a baby deer. He took a birth as a doe. He lived his life, but by the blessings of the Lord, he knew what mistake he has done. So he was even though if he was in the animal body, he kept himself safely, not to entangle with other, doe friends. So when he left the second body as a baby deer, he got the baby of again human birth. He became as a Jada birth, which Srila Prabhupada here writes. Because his service to the Lord, he remembers all this past birth. Okay, I was a king. I made a mistake. Then I took a birth of an animal as a doe. Now this is a third chance. So what he did, he made himself like a stone. He made himself like a stone. Stone means he doesn't want to follow anything of this world. His father was a great teacher. His father was a great scholar. He was trying to teach him anything, but he doesn't want to follow because he himself made as a stone that he doesn't want to hear anything of this material world, any conversation, any talk. He doesn't want to participate anything material. He just made himself like a dumb and fool person. But internally, he was meditating upon the Supreme Lord. He was thinking what mistake I had done. He says, for this lifetime, I'm not going to repeat the mistake. I will be very, very cautious. So he became cautious. When he was wandering in the forest, then he met the king of that state. And his name was? What was the name we read? No, King Rahuguna. Because he himself was a Jada, but he met King Rahuguna. And this Rahuguna, he was going to meet a very great sage. His name was Kapiladev. He was going to his ashram. And he had 4 servants to carry on his palanquin. But one of the person, he got injured for some reason. So he asked his other servants, can you find any suitable person, any healthy person who can replace the 4th person? He says, no problem. And they found him, Jada Bharat. And he was a great devotee of the Lord. And the conversation back and forth, then King chastised very heavily to Jada Bharat. Don't you know I am the king? I am the boss of this state, of this world. I pay you, I feed you, I take care of your clothing, I take care of your family. You should have to help me, you should have to serve me, this and that. Then he opens up his mouth, but he never opened. First time he opened his mouth. He says, my dear king, today you are proud of your wealth. Today you are proud of your prestige. Today you are proud of your beauty. Today you are proud of your knowledge. Today you are proud of your fame. But no wonder in next lifetime I will be a king and you will be my servant. And he opens up all the things. Do you think I'm this body? I'm not this body. I am inside the body which is called the spirit soul. I am that personality. Today I am suffering due to my karma and you are enjoying as a king body due to your karma. Tomorrow it will change, then what you gonna do? So whatever good or bad deeds you are doing in your this lifetime being as a king, you have to pay for it in your next lifetime or future, many more forms when you're gonna take. And that's back and forth. Then he realized, oh my God, this person is not a dumb and fool, he's a great saintly person. Have you ever seen in our society we say the fool is recognized by when he opens his mouth, and the saintly person is recognized by his silent. Because the person who is more knowledgeable, who is more deep, They are always quiet. They only speak when there is a right time to come to speak, and only which is worthy for them, which is worthy for other, which is worthy for the whole society. Only the foolish people, they only keep talking like that, all the time. And in the Bhagavatam, it has been said, this type of a people, when they speak continuously without any meaning, their mentality is considered to be a mentality of a crow. Have you seen crows when they get together? And it doesn't pleases to the ears. It disturbs to the society, and everybody likes to chase them. But when a saintly person speaks, everybody likes to hear. A person who is full of knowledge, full of wisdom, people loves to be with them. So these are the saintly people. And that's what we have to make our character to, our lifestyle in such a way that whatever activity we do make sure that is aligned in the Vedic scripture, or that it's been appreciated by other saintly people. Not like people like crow, because who appreciate the crow? Crow-like people. And who appreciate the swan? Swan-like people. Swan people are compared to the saintly people, and crow people are compared to the materialistic people. Where does a crow basically resides? Which area? Cemeteries? Yeah, where the flesh are there available. Like you can say a garbage, where the dirty places are there. And swan? Lakes, ponds, where nice flowers, nice water, nice greenery, everything is clean. Have you ever seen other way around, like crows are hanging in the ponds and lakes and near the... No, they never do. For them, it's a garbage. For swan is a garbage of other side. So we need to create our mentality in such a way. That's why Lord is again and again in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and many Vedic scriptures, he is pointing this out, that whatever practicing you are, but that practice has to be mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. We cannot do spiritual practice by our own. It is not recommended. It's called mental speculation. What's your profession? What's your...
Right now?
Yeah, occupation, are you doctor, teacher, or...
Was a college advisor.
Okay, let's take an example of a doctor, okay? If a doctor is there, have you ever been any person become a doctor by giving degree to himself? Just go to any bookshop, get any book of doctorate or a medicine and just read it and just say, I am a self-appointed doctor? No, he has to go to a certified affiliated university or a college, which been approved by a government, which has been approved by many other, and it's been going on for years and years, like maybe 100 years, 200 years old, or 300 years old, where there is a big reputation of the university is there, college is there. When he goes there, the teachers are well qualified, and he studies, he takes the part, he puts himself, he surrenders to the doctor, to the whole process. He buys the book which is authorized by the temple and authorized by the institution, college or universities. He buys, he studies, he gives the exam, and he practices for another 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Then he is being given a certificate by the government or by the college. Okay, so and so is a certified doctor. Then a person or a patient puts a trust on him, because if you see in any doctor's clinic, they always put their degree front of the their entrance, because people should know they are not a cheap doctor. They have been studied in a well reputed college or university. So in a similar way, we need to be also put ourselves for as a yoga practitioner, which they are being recognized or authorized by Lord himself. And the book is there. Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna himself is giving all the solutions to all the questions which been asked by Arjuna himself. Where can you get this authority? If you go to any work, okay, and your boss has given you a particular task to do, and that task is only 60 or 80% done, do you think your boss will glorify you? When will he glorify you or appreciate you? When the task is completed. And in this world, that is also not there. Even though if you complete the task, still you will be chastised by the boss. No matter how many years you have spent to finish one project, if that project is 99% finished and 1% is not finished, then the boss says you are a failure, you haven't done anything. But here, in the case of bhakti, in the case of spiritual life, Lord Krishna appreciate even if you take a 1% step towards him. And that is never a loss. And when the next life you come back, do you think you can tell your boss, in my previous life I finished 99%, can I do 1%? No. As soon as you leave the project, that project becomes zero. But the bhakti, for the spiritual life, it never becomes zero because it's always an eternal asset. It's always be there. You only start where you leave in your previous life. That's what all the answers are here given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna, you know that whoever practice even for short period of time or for a long period of time, they both are benefited. So I'm pretty much sure you all are here. You must have done something in your previous life or previous life. So that's why he's giving you opportunity again and again. He's indicating you within your heart or making some kind of a arrangement or an atmosphere where you can come in such an association, where you can put yourself again in the process of spiritual life and you pick up yourself again. But ultimately, he has given only one thing to us, and that is called individual free will. He puts everything on the table and he says, I told you what is what, and now this is your choice whether you want to pick up this or not. That's what he said to Arjuna. He spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita, whole spiritual knowledge, the science of this yoga, and at the end he says, Yatha Ichhasi Tatha Kuru. That means you do whatever you want. I will not force you. Why? Because the love is not been forced. The love is a volunteer thing that you do after understanding the whole process. That's what the Arjuna did. He understood the whole process and he says, Krishna, I will exactly do whatever you want because I don't want to come back again in this material world. I missed. That was here King Bharat. In the form of Jada Bharat, he thought, yes, I was a very big king. I was the emperor of the whole world. I gave up for a highest cost, but again I entangled into the lower cost. Again I became a deer, then again I got another form. But this time I will not make any mistake. This time I will be very, very cautious, very, very focused. I'm gonna go back to Godhead where my actual place is, where I actually used to reside with my all friends and family members. Okay? So far we have understood this, that this process of bhakti is not temporarily. Anything you do, even for a day, even for an hour, even for a minute, it is always there to protect you. But now it is our call that we should make it either in this lifetime or next lifetime. Okay? Is there any questions or comments or anything anybody would like to add? Yes, Mataji. Just one at a time, it would be nice.
You told that when we are leaving this body, like Bharat, he was remembering about the deer, so he came in this world as a deer.
Yeah.
So how can you guarantee that you can remember God when you are leaving this body? Like last time we heard that Ajamil, he didn't call Narayan, but he called his toddler that his name was Narayan. So he was calling him, but he, in the spiritual world, Vishnu came to take him.
Yeah.
And the other one is
one at a time.
This is one question.
Achha, this is one question.
How you guarantee that I can remember God that
Okay, this is not my guarantee, it's a guarantee of the Lord.
Like, I'm not
Okay, yeah.
telling you, but how can I guarantee
Yeah.
myself?
It is Lord has said, you do your part. Okay, you give your best, and the rest will be taken by me. But if we are refraining ourselves to give our best in this lifetime, so where is the question? If you see the story of Ajamila, he was calling the name of Narayana all the time, even though he doesn't know whether it's a name of a Lord or not. He was still calling. See, you are a mom. I'm pretty much sure you might have few children also. Okay? And if you have put your children name on the name of a Lord, can you recollect your memory and tell us that how many times a day you call your children's name? Many times, 100 times. So that means 100 times you are chanting the name of the Lord. And if you do on a everyday, weekly, monthly, yearly, or decades, or throughout your whole life, can you calculate how many times you have chanted the name of the Lord? You don't even know. That's what the Ajamila did. That's why in our Hare Krishna movement, anybody takes birth, either the parents or the spiritual master, they gives the spiritual name to the children, because parents are so affectionate to their children, they might not have time to chant the holy name while sitting at one place. But by putting the name of their children, they may call 100,000 of time. Either they call, Narayan, come to me, I'll take you bath, let me feed you, let me take you to the school and college. And then when any family member comes, relatives come, then you tell the story of your son. You know what, he did this to me, he broke this to me. Then you take the name of your son all the time. So in this way you chant unlimited time. So that's why Srila Prabhupada has given from the Vedic scripture that when you chant the name of the holy, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra of certain number of rounds, you do your best. But when the time will come, when you are not able to chant, then Krishna will send his devotee to chant for you when you are leaving the body. So it's as equal as you are thinking about the Lord. Because you did your part and now it's a part of the Lord, then he will help you. Because he says, Yam Yam Vapi Samran Bhava. The time you leave the body, whatever consciousness is you're stuck in whichever activity, if it will come, you will attain that bhava. And he also said, if you think about me, you will attain me. So it's up to us how much purify we do our consciousness when we are in a good condition. Like you are okay, you are well to do. You can see, you can hear, you can talk, you can do some service. Just do everything your best. I know every day is a hard for you because you are going older and older, and we all are doing older and older. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, the time your consciousness allow, now my eyes are open, now I have to practice this spirituality, then do as best you can do in this life. If you are young, do as much as you can. When you are old, you have nothing to do, then only just chant Hare Krishna all the time. Okay? Yes. Second question?
Second question is, the people when they become very sick.
When the people they become very sick.
And somebody is in the ICU with the ventilator.
Yeah.
With artificial respiration
Yeah.
and everything, they don't know anything, so
Yeah.
they cannot remember anything.
No.
So how then they are going to remember Krishna's name?
Okay, first thing, you forget about them. You have to take care of yourself.
No, if I
Wait.
become like
Yeah. No. How do you know? How can you say? How can you say yourself if I'll become like that? Or maybe if you don't, then? Okay, the answer to this is don't worry about them. Okay, and how do you know if they are externally, they are not functioning, but how do you know they are internally also not functioning? Because internally they are thinking about the Lord. Externally, they don't. Externally, people don't function, but internally there is a desire. You may hurt yourself externally, but how can you hurt the soul? Soul is never been hurt. So when your intelligence is a spiritual consciousness, you can do like, there are so many people who get paralyzed, okay? They're just lying on the bed. They can't take the glass, they can't change their clothes, but internally or subtly, they are doing it. But externally, it's not working. They know, like if I'm like that, if I think I have to move the book, okay, I did. because my external organs are okay, well to do. But internally, if externally it doesn't work, or even though I don't have a hand, but there is a subtle body is there, it's showing me I have to move the book. But externally it's not there. But internally it's so the whole bhakti process is an internal process, not external process. If the person is externally not consciousness, but that does not mean he's internally also not consciousness. It's up to the level of his practice, how deeply or how perfectly he or she has done in their life, so that will help them. If you see in our movement, there are many sages, many Srila Prabhupada, Shishya, disciple, when they were leaving the world, even though they have been in the coma, they have been unconscious for a week, for 10 days or 20 days. But their disciples have made the video, even though doctor says they are not functioning, but in their dream they are just doing the arti, they are doing something for the Lord, they are reading or they are chanting. How? This is an internal process. Spiritual life is so powerful, it changes you internally, externally also, but internally is the most important part. So internally has to be changed. So when the internal part is changed, then you are successful. Whether externally the whole world thinks they have not eaten for 10 days, they haven't drunk anything for the 10 days, who cares? Who cares? But internally they are fully connected with the Lord. Okay? You came at the end, you don't even know what I spoke.
Yeah.
I think Prabhu has one question there, because you asked me and I stopped you.
No, I just had a question about, you mentioned that doing things at the right time,
Hmm.
like getting married,
Yeah.
going to war.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that, I was thinking about myself.
Hmm.
Like everyone has sort of a different timeline in their life, right? Like
Yeah.
what would be the right timing for you might not be the right timing for me, because we all sort of mature at different phases in our life, right?
On certain things you can say yes, but there is a general principle for everybody. There is a general. So I'm just talking about, when I was giving the example of King Bharata, I was just giving a journal guideline for everybody. Like, to get married, there is a certain age. Okay, to become a father and a mother, there is a certain age. But if you do early, then it's a problem. If you do late, then it's also a problem. If you take a job early, then it's pretty good. You can, settle down, you can buy houses, you can buy car, you can, make yourself financially strong. But if you think, let me have from 21 to 30, 35, I have my father, enjoy the property. When I take a job at 35 years old, then where is the question you are going to buy a new house or new car, pay off the loan? Because by the time many people take, retirement at the age of 45, 50, they just take retirement. So if you do certain things, but my point was mentioning that he did everything on time, King Bharata. So it is an example for all of us to aim everything. When there is a time when he became a 50 years old, he says, okay, I did everything. I became a householder. I did a duty of as a son, as a brother, as a king, as a father, as a husband. Now I have to do my spiritual life. So everything has to be done on a time. Because if you see, especially in the Western world, people are 60, 70, 80, they still look forward for a partner. What for? I have been to Tompkins Square Park. If you've seen, I don't know whether it's there or not, there is an intersection on the pole. There is an old man, probably 55, 60 years old. He just put a sticker of himself everywhere, looking for a partner, approach me. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
In every single pole, one room is empty, female partner needed. Well, especially mention female, America, anything can be happening. He's just mentioning everything like that, No, the way the scriptures, they give us a knowledge. There is a time to enjoy family life. There is a life, there's a time to go for study. Of course, study you can do anytime, anywhere. But when you do on a certain time where your mind, your senses are really strong, then you can make a best out of it. But if the senses are very old, like 55, 60 or 70 years old, have you ever seen anyone going to college and university for I want to make my career in accounting and doctorate? No, done. Job is done. senses are finished, and these are why all the companies they hire freshers. Why? If you see any third year or fourth year of the college, all the companies they look for a freshers. Why? Because they are not hankering after the money, they're hankering after to prove themselves. So the company can hire them because they can become more productive with a less amount. That time they are thinking, I have no job, I don't care about the money, I just want to create my profile. So after 5 years, 10 years, when they are good in the company, then they look for their handsome salary. No, I have a good profile, I worked for 5 years, now I want a more increment. But in the beginning, nobody asks, and that's where the company take the advantage of everybody. Pay less, get more work out of it. So in this way, similar thing, it works with the spiritual life. If we do everything right on the time, as she says, when there is a time, because we don't know, anything can be happen anytime. At the age of 30 can go, at the age of 40 can go, at the 60. So Prabhupada says, always, make a best out of your human life. Even though if you can finish 50%, 40%, that is also good. Because everybody has got in this material world with a certain amount of time to live in this body. And it is also said it's up to the Lord where he can extend or not. If he thinks this fellow has to do more service, so let me give him another 10 years, 15 years or 20 years. He can give. But if it's not normally, so whatever time we have got, the time we came, the time we live, that's it, finish. Yes, Prabhu.
Even though I didn't hear what you said, I like what you said about internal, intellect,
change,
that stuff. No,
yeah.
It's like it was interesting what you said. That it's internal. Like we know that mind is subtle. It's a subtle body. So intellect is also intelligent part of subtle body. So then a person could move their body even because it's internal. That's very interesting.
No, but the body has to function both externally and internally, because there is a gross body, there is a subtle body. Okay, so gross body has to move also. If the gross body has disabled for something, for some point, some reason, so the person will not move. He need assistance to move. Even though subtly he can think, I want to go from here to there, but how can he move if his legs are not there?
So even though he's not moving, it's interesting. You said it's internal.
I was talking. That's why I said you came at the end. I was making another, because which context I said, you need to hear that part also, because I was mentioning about the spiritual life. Even though you are externally cannot do anything for the Lord, but internally you can do. You can chant His holy name. Even though you can't speak Hare Krishna like the way I'm doing, but if your mouth is gone and you cannot, if your voice is not there, still you can chant in your mind. Can you chant?
So spiritual people,
anything, anyone can do.
In coma, right?
No, it's up to case. It's not for, if they are intelligent enough, they can do it. Yeah, if they haven't served the Lord, they haven't done any service to the Lord, so Lord also doesn't help at the end of the life also. I mean, how can He give the intelligence so they can chant the name of the Lord?
So intelligence belongs to subtle body, right?
Intelligent also has two functions. There are two types of intelligence: material intelligence and spiritual intelligence. So spiritual intelligence will work when Lord will see you have an intense desire to serve Him. Then only it will work. Because intelligent means, someone can start the phone, someone can, do some operation, scientist, making this phone. This is called material intelligence. So what is spiritual? The spiritual is, how can I get out of this material life? This is called spiritual intelligence. So utilize everything, whatever karma is there in your life, you use everything, your wealth, your intelligence, your everything, to help you so you can have a better spiritual life, and in this life you can go back to God. That's called spiritual intelligence. And plus help others also. Okay? Yeah. So, do you want to give any comments, any reflection, or?
I think everything you said was, you explained, everything you said, of course, was very nice, and also you explained it from many points of view. One comment you were making, you alluded to it. I could expand on it.
Yeah, go for it.
You were saying that when Krishna provides the intelligence to someone to think of Krishna or internally in one's mind when one has a strong desire to serve Krishna. So just to expand on that, so that was a very nice point, and that addresses Parul's question nicely. So in other words, because sometimes we seem very strong and capable, and other times we may feel helpless, or we may, objectively speaking, based on a material analysis, we may be rendered helpless by the circumstances we're in. But spiritual life transcends all material circumstances. So one may have been doing all sorts of things. Even one's mind may have become apparently, even internally, it may have become dull or stuck for some time. But at the right moment, if Krishna will remember what you've done, what's been in your heart at various times, and then Krishna at the right, perhaps steadily, Krishna will help you remember Krishna, or perhaps Krishna will help you remember at just a certain time when you're ready to remember Krishna and to embrace that type of consciousness that Krishna is giving you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
right, because and for example, Parul was mentioning the Vishnu Dutas may come first. So someone may have engaged in all kinds of sinful materialist activity. As you were saying, it's best to use this life in Krishna to get out of this material world. But it's sometimes we may do better than we do at other times in various endeavors, including spiritual endeavors. But Krishna may, if we're sincere and if we're not always doing so great, but then and we may think, oh, but I've done these sinful activities, and therefore those other than the Vishnu Dutas, the Yama Dutas may be coming for me. But Krishna can remember the good things not just good things, but your attempt to love God. And then Krishna at a certain time, when it may seem like, oh, the material world's falling down upon me, and Krishna may come and give you his mercy, and you see, oh, Krishna remembers me. Everything is so wonderful.
Yeah, very nice. Do you guys have any questions? It was okay to you, or maybe something fairy tale story came up, or have you ever read Bhagavad Gita? Have you ever touched?
But my copy is different. I have this one.
Yeah.
Translation.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't finished it.
Yeah. Now you can have that one here, which is front of you. This is our special master.
This one's my
A.C.
favorite.
Bhaktivedanta Swami has written, and it has been taught in University of California also. And this is the commentary being read by all over the world. If you see the backside of the testimony, it's so powerful of that one. Yeah, it is just for some small donation. Anything you can ask there, somebody, and you can just honor the book and read it. And we do this program on every Saturday. Please make your time out to come and associate with others. They are already doing this seva for so many years. They can help you, guide you in so many ways. Okay, anybody else? If it's not, then
No questions.
Mirta.
She has it, I know.
I know she always has, but I don't know why she's shying to ask today.
Well, I don't know what, because I think I may have asked this question before, and I think it was a similar question to what has been asked before. I just feel very blessed that, as imperfect as I am a devotee, that at least this is giving me, Lord Krishna he's speaking to me, especially today, that our efforts, if we are sincere in our devotion to him, that our efforts are not in vain. It's just, I am tired. Emotionally, I am tired. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to come back here again.
That's good. Very
Okay.
nice. Very nice.
I really don't. I deal with addictions. I deal with depression,
Yeah.
and Lord Krishna has literally saved my life.
Yeah, it's many. Mine also.
He has saved me from suicide. He has
Yeah.
saved me from the biggest despair, and it's just that I'm afraid that I'm not a good enough devotee.
No, you are good enough because you are on the path. Don't think you need to run in the Olympics and win the award. First, you need to learn how to walk. Okay, and the race will come later on. We'll see later on because you never seen anybody just buying a shoes and say I'm going to win the race now, right now, because he has to practice.
But it's like I read about the regulative principles
Yeah.
and all of that, and I just asked I asked Krishna, look, I am not a morning person. For me to wake up at 4 in the morning.
No, he didn't say that anywhere. See, I tell you what, whatever the issues are there, there is a step to overcome, okay, and nothing will happen over the night. Because you have been conditioned, I have been conditioned, all of us been conditioned for billions of lifetime. And now somewhere in this lifetime we have taken a step towards him. Okay, and do you think that conditioning only just be gone in few weeks or a few years? No. It is a great achievement. At least you have come to the consciousness, damn, I'm not gonna come back again here. That's it. That's good enough to take you back. That's good enough. At least, but how many people are in that consciousness where they can think, maybe this person is saying something like that, maybe he has to pass the evening. No, it's not my evening. This is Lord is saying. I'm not saying my word.
You know what else I worry about is my family.
Don't worry about it. You had billions of families. This is one more. What's the point? You've been taken a birth as a dog, as a cockroach, as a lion, many, and you had many other family members, daughter, mother, brother, sister, plan is one more lifetime. What's the point? You finish your job, go back to God, and you have billions of family members there, where you missed out at some point in your life. It's one more. See, if you go and you hit something and you lose your memory, even though your family members are still there in front of you, you won't even recognize them. So we were to speak about, if I say so and so, she was your mom 10 lifetime back, will you say hello mom? No, feelings are not there. So this is called material affection. No problem. You have been a mom or a sister or a daughter, whatever, you do your best. Okay, but still your main important duty is to play the role of a devotee also. Because if that role is being played perfectly, so there will be no more role again in this material world.
Just so that you know, I'm up to 8 rounds.
Right, oh, congratulations. Wow.
So,
Last time I met, you were on 2 or 1, yeah?
Right.
Yeah, 2 and wow, such a great transformation.
I'm up to 8 rounds.
So-
And that's another thing. So, so I'm reading the book, and I'm listening also to Srila Prabhupada's words, and it's the more I hear, the more I want to be involved.
That's it.
Like,
Good.
but one wish that I have with Krishna is I'm a flamenco dancer or a flamenco dance student. I want my devotion to be through flamenco dance, and I don't know if that is okay, if that's simple.
We'll see later part. First you just develop your strength now by reading Srila Prabhupada books, hearing his lecture, and come to this program on every Saturday. And then slowly he will, or your people are here to help you, to guide you, they will guide you. Because anything will happen with the proper and right guidance. Don't think it will just happen over the night. I just came, I just want to be king one day or queen one day. No. Little by little you practice, because you are coming out of a material attachment. You have come so far, you have really walked so far. Now you are going towards spiritual life. Do you think it's easy? No, it will be many tests on your path. No degree has been awarded without the test. You have to pass many tests. And we are doing, and we have done, and there will be many more in the future. So we need to hold each other's hand, help each other, and just move on. And then everything in his hand now. He will take care of everything. Don't worry about those words. Okay? Alrighty, shall we do Kirtan? Another part of Kirtan we can do? Alright, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thanks for coming this evening. So we're gonna do